Hello. Oh, wow. Starting strong. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We're playing the Nameless City. I got a code for it. Let's see what it's all about, shall we? This is new. It is. Remote in the desert of Arabi lies the Nameless City, crumbling and inarticulate. It must have been thus before the first stones of Memphis were laid, while the bricks of Babylon were yet unbaked. There's no legend so old as to give it a name or to recall that it was ever alive. It was of this place that Abdul Al-Azrad, the mad poet, dreamed of the night before he sang his unexplained couplet. So this is based on a short story by Lovecraft. It is not dead which can eternal lie, and with strange eons even death may die. Okay. How's it going, Homer? Hello, Moon Ships.
When I came upon the nameless city, in the ghastly stillness of an ending sleep, it looked at me, chilly, from the rays of a cold moon amidst the desert's heat, and as I returned its look, I forgot my triumph at finding it.
The sandstorm rages with relentless fury. I shall set up a camp nearby and wait for this fierce wind to subside. I shall? The wall lacks carvings or inscriptions, leaving me unable to determine if the inhabitants of the city were humans. If they were humans. Why would you think they were not? It appears that this oddly shaped rock has fallen from the structure, Strangely, its texture is rough, as though the arid winds of the desert haven't eroded it. Muffled aquatic noises emanate from the pit before me. Could there be a subterranean mass of water beneath the city? A strange barrier obstructs the path ahead. Its surface is made from an unearthly material. It repels my hand when I dare to touch it, as though it were a force rather than a physical substance. Behind that pillar, I can get a glimpse of a strange glyph. Its mere sight makes me shiver. Oh. The statue appears to be an ancient idol of an unfathomed fate. The grotesque eyes and teeth are strangely more intricate than the rest of the image. The sole imagination of the perverse rituals officiated here to venerate this deity sends my mind to wander in a sea of despair and madness. Ties of the ancient race that dwelled here adorn this primitive altar. This desolate place is reminiscent of an ancient temple. What forgotten and dreadful rites could have occurred here?
felt something trying to establish contact with me. Yet I felt its voice inside my brain. Its faint whisper still lingers around this place. There should be another glyph around.
Interesting, but I feel like this is probably going to make me motion sick. Cities adorned with these cryptic glyphs. I am haunted by the certainty that I have seen this sigil during my studies of the occult. Yet its meaning is shrouded by the grave veil of time. I don't think you're supposed to know, Cyan. How are you?
This feeling again, a sharp pain inside my skull. However, the meaning of these glyphs has begun to unveil itself to me. I have started to transcribe them into my journal, as I am convinced they hold the key to unlock the secrets of the city. It's recommended to play it in one sitting. Okay. I only want one. Click once.
Uh, oh. Is this better? That's the thing. I don't know if it's better to have more or less. More? Did I invert the controls? What happened? I saw that. The device before me bears a strong resemblance to a sun clock. However, after seeing the raging wind that arises at nightfall, I'm drawn to the supposition that this civilization was more fascinated by the lunar mysteries than by the glare of the sun. I'm gonna take a look at these trophies.
The sandstorm emerges from the insides of the city and then shrouds the ruins at night. I shall go back to the camp. My head is hurting again. It looks like the city doesn't want to be explored at night.
Am I safe here? Okay. I didn't try, so I wanted to try now. structure is decorated with these unfathomable symbols. Must have held significance for the inhabitants of the city. Or perhaps it connects to an important monument for their civilization. On the far side of this precipice, a grand structure has been carved in stone. An unnatural glow emanates from its sides, as though this eldritch monument was inviting me to unearth its mysteries. Where did I come from here? I mean, that's not class, kitty. I won't. The remains of a gigantic and unknown creature lies before me. They bear an eerie resemblance to the jaws of some marine animals. If my speculations are true, this monstrous beast must have been of colossal proportions. Must have long since become extinct. You shall not be... Don't miss me. You mean like failure, right? Don't fail you? Can I fall? These statues are expelling a turbulent gust of sand and gravel. Is this phenomenon a whim of nature, or were these sculptures built for a purpose that has been buried in eons? A glyph has been etched upon this rock, a symbol that I have studied during my research of the occult. The Elder Sign. Curiously, an unexplainable sense of security envelops me when I'm near this glyph, as if its very form were a warn against the dreadful secrets of the city. I'm good. How are you? I had to try. I had to know. Oh, I was about to find out anyway. No? Oh. Uh, I can just crouch under it. I'm an idiot. So what's this? This... I think it's a video game. But, still figuring it out. It's based on a novel by Lovecraft of the same name. I saw an eye. Facades of several small squat rock houses or temples rest on the face of that cliff. These structures promise further traces of the antediluvian people, as its interiors might preserve many secrets of ages too remote for calculation. That is the reaction I expected, Milty. From the distant cliff, the skeletal remains of a colossal animal repose in the eerie stillness. Could it be that the inhabitants of the city once dwelled alongside this titanic creature? For me, lies an alien device, a lifeless orb resting above an unnatural pedestal. Its ever-shifting surface is mesmerizing, as if it beckons me to unveil its mysteries. So what does this do? This game is trippy. Wow. I have to agree. Oh. Oh, It's a loop. Got it. Do I got it? Hi guys. This way I can't even get out of here, can I? I'm not sure what I want to do. You got it.
I felt my consciousness expand, compassing every corner of the universe, and from the depths of reality, voices whisper to me, ancient and forbidden knowledge. These voices possess the secret of reshaping the very essence of matter, and they bestow that power to me.
I mean, you do know about Lovecraft stuff, right? Oh. Did it not work? What's going on? Why doesn't it work? Okay, now it worked. Weird. Skeleton of these unknown creatures rest on many of these precipices. Looking at the buildings fabricated by the inhabitants of the city, it becomes increasingly evident that they adorned them with these macabre bones. Wait, why am I going insane? Is that Ruben the dog? Oh man, I can only hope it's soon. Such a strong leading man, he deserves to be in more things. Oh. Oh, it's a dead end. Why was I losing sanity before? Come on. Enormous and eerie statue looms before the entrance of this colossal monument. There's an ever watchful sentinel that guards the mysteries buried in the depths of the Nameless City. Big statue. Primal instincts compel me to cease the exploration of this city, that my insatiable curiosity is more intense than the most primordial of fears. Great last words. That's your mistake, Melty. Cyan. The Jason Bourne is the protagonist. It was a Melty thing to say. Sediment that clings to this wall bears a resemblance to the remains of an ancient mural, but I can't grasp any recognizable form in this art. I'm left to ponder the possibility of whether, in the deepest corners of this building, any painting has survived the relentless passage of time. Isn't this a painting? Massive door of brass is resting in the wall of this gloomy passage. In the darkness, as I open the door, I find myself chanting over and over again a phrase from one of Lord Dunsany's tales. The unverberate blackness of the abyss.
The darkness that occupies this tunnel feels unnatural. The feeble lightness of my torch is at least a poor comfort in this abyss.
But I am losing sanity. The material of this artifact fluctuates and glows dimly. Its surface radiates a heat that is unusually soothing. Okay, so that heals you.
An icy wind aroused from these tunnels. Did the torchlight dim? Was it a mere trick of my imagination?
The artifact bears a resemblance to the one that I encountered earlier, yet this time its surface is cold and lifeless. Passage of the centuries may have rendered this relic inert. I was trying to do a trophy. But I have no idea if there's a specific place to do it, or if, or whatever. It's just that the thumbnail looks like this. It's conceivable that the inhabitants of the city fabricated these artifacts to illuminate these depths. Astoundingly, a handful of them continue to cast their light after countless centuries. Surprisingly, a well-preserved fresco adorns this wall, defying the ravages of time. The creatures depicted in this painting are grotesque. An amalgam of a frog, a reptile, the mythic satyr, and a human. The beings pictured in the frescoes are abhorrent, causing me to question if the people of the city were humans at all. Yet the reason impels me to accept the theory of these creatures being an allegorical representation of the inhabitants of the city. Several of the eldritch creatures depicted in this fresco are crawling. Could it be that these cramped tunnels were intentionally constructed to evoke nightmarish fantasy that they once roamed the very depths of the city? More field of view was definitely the right option. This wooden case bears an unsettling resemblance to a coffin. It's miraculous that the material has not succumbed to the inexorable ravages of time. Should this wooden box have served as a casket for the inhabitants of the city? It's possible that these tortuous tunnels served as a necropolis.
The torch has succumbed to the void. I must urgently seek a new source of light, as this abyss is hungry for the last remnants of my sanity.
How did I die? Contemplation of these eldritch mummies strains the very limits of my cognition. Their forms defy the boundaries of reason. Even though the hands and fingers of these monstrosities resemble the human, their bodies are the reptile kind. And their heads are an abhorrent fusion of the features of the cat, the bullfrog, and the goat. They are? My grim suspicions have been confirmed. These boxes served as coffins by the inhabitants of the city. Within these sarcophagus a hideous mummy reposes, with a shape only conceived in the most delirious of nightmares. Its very form resides beyond my comprehension, and I have long since forgotten it. Besides, the most unsettling of all is the unnatural state of preservation of the corpse. The creatures depicted in the frescoes bear a resemblance to the mummies inside the wood cases. It could be that the inhabitants of the city transformed the bodies of their deceased into grotesque reflections of the creatures represented in their paintings. corridors were used as a crypt. Yet no mural depicts representations of death or funeral customs. Why the reticence of the inhabitants of the city to immortalize death in their frescoes, while they preserve their deceased within wood cases? Empty coffins haunt me almost the same as the occupied ones. A horrifying vision consumes my thoughts. The bodies of the deceased leaving their wooden graves and wandering the city in a nightmarish procession. The importance of these eldritch beings must have been vast, as they hold first place among the frescoed walls and the funeral rites. A relentless vision lingers in my mind. These grotesque creatures crawling in these cramped tunnels, as if the very city was constructed for them.
Was inundated by thousands memories, each of them a searing spike piercing my brain. Could these visions be the memories of the inhabitants of the city? The line between reality and these eldritch visions blurs my cognition into an indistinct haze.
Oh, I can bring it back now, can't I? What did you click? Casting the spells barely works. What the fuck? Stop misclicking! What the fuck? I don't know if I'd classify Ruben the dog as a good boy. This is dumb. A god boy. Oh, I didn't notice. Okay, so this sucks. I'm into the game, but I have no idea what this is supposed to work like. It doesn't work properly at all, the casting of spells. How? Literally, how? This does not click the shit I click at all. It's so weird. The absence of any representation of death in their murals continues to perplex me. It is plausible that the inhabitants of the city harbored the belief in some semblance of immortality, the delusion that the bodies within the coffins would somehow endure for eternity. Save point, thank you. No! Yeah, how am I supposed to cast 2 spells in a row? So at least the save is close by and the game keeps whatever you've already done, so that barrier is down. I wish the game worked, because I really like what I'm playing. Because it knows it's buggy? Maybe. If you know it's buggy, then don't publish it yet. Fresco depicting a desert landscape bearing resemblance to the desert surrounding the city. Yet this mural has a remarkable difference, a body of water near the bottom of the painting. Eons ago, could it be that the sea once stretched nearer to these barren lands? The buildings depicted at the left of this fresco bear a striking resemblance to the Nameless city. The presence of the body of water in this painting is a haunting revelation, as it suggests that it was constructed during primordial times, and that its ruins survived the bygone sea. Reminds me of the issue with Epic Mickey 2, is that it was an unfinished game, but they finished it, rushed just to get it to market. Yeah, they didn't do a good job of that, I remember that. The depiction of some grotesque sea creatures, their very form conveys chaos. Could they have dwelled in the antediluvian sea around the city? The presence of some strange symbols carved on their skin, akin to the glyphs I have been collecting during my exploration, suggests that these beasts and the sigils have a mysterious connection. Alright, one trophy left. We're beating the game. This fresco depicts the city more akin as it is nowadays, as the sea has already retreated. The foreboding night sky hints at the city's descent into decay and obscurity, as it lost its once prolific connection to the sea and the creatures that dwelled it. Sorry. The room depicted in this fresco bears similarities to a chamber that I've previously encountered. A profane altar at the left and a mysterious idol at the right. Yet the altar is now adorned with a grotesque form that resembles a dismembered human corpse. How could it be that the inhabitants of the city were depicted as gruesome creatures in other frescoes, yet they are represented as precise humans in this painting, if my assumptions are even remotely accurate? A circular structure made of stone surrounded by water and an altar at its center. This painting strongly implies that the profane rituals practiced by the inhabitants of the city were offerings dedicated to a sea deity. The enigmatic half-open gigantic door unveils a formless cloud of otherworldly colors, unnatural for the mortal realm and perhaps the very abode of the aforementioned god. The relentless tide of thoughts inexorably returns to the disconcerting truth that, apart from that poor and barely recognizable person sacrificed in that mural, I stand as the only human form amidst the sea of otherworldly relics and frescoes. Well, at least
My initial presumption that the depicted creatures were representations of humans was just a shield against the profound horrors that dwell within the city's depths. A truth so unspeakable that I dare not express it with the voice of my conscious mind.
Okay. We found the primordial sea. Lie down on the altar.
recollections of my visit to the Nameless city are an amalgam of an eldritch nightmare and an uncanny reality. Amidst a hazy fog are my memories. A vivid sensation endures, the inexorable dread of being pulled into an otherworldly abyss of light. Those silhouettes, the eerie forms of the crawling reptiles of the Nameless city, against the luminous ether of the abyss. And the indelible mark that is etched in my worst nightmares at night is the vision of a grotesque and gargantuan beast that reigned over the city beyond the void of night.
Okay. Hey, that was pretty cool. I liked it. Short and sweet. You can exit the game now. Thank you. It really doesn't go anywhere. Okay, well, I guess we take a break and change games. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I thought it was pretty fun. The spellcasting was ass. But basically what I had to do, and it still barely worked, but I because I did it all the time, is I held the button for the first one. Because otherwise, when I was just clicking, it usually clicked twice. So I couldn't select a second sigil any time I tried. By holding, at least I could select the second one. It just didn't always select the right one first. You can exit the game now. Select and play, now leave. Yep. Okay, we fucked. I paid you. Now get the fuck out. And on that note, I'll be right back.